All right, Andrew, thanks so much for being here. Obviously, a really interesting story for you, how you got into sumo wrestling. You told me that you literally saw a sign and that was your path. Walk us through what that was like.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I wrestled my whole life, started in 7th grade, wrestled through middle school, high school, and college. Got out of competition for 9 years and thought I'd never compete again, just I'd hung it up. And went to Birmingham with a friend one day in early 2020, see a sign for the World Games. And be honest, I didn't know what the World Games were at the time. We all know what the Olympics are. And so as we're driving back up here towards Huntsville, I get on Google and look up and see that the World Games are a pretty big sporting event, you know, basically the little brother to the Olympics. And so as I'm looking through all the different sports, there's 34 of them. As I'm looking through, sumo catches my eye because I used to wrestle. And at first I was like, well, you know, that'd be fun to watch. So I start learning a little bit about it because I plan on being a spectator. Well, as I learned a little bit about it, I'm like, man, if I started training and got back into shape, I'd be pretty good at this. So in May of 2020, when gyms started opening back up after COVID, that's exactly what I did and told everybody from day one that, you know, I wanted to be in the World Games. And here we are competing in them last weekend.
And from our previous conversations, my understanding is that once you got into the sport, it was a pretty quick rise to success. What was it like for you knowing that you hadn't done the sport 2 years earlier and all of a sudden you're winning these competitions?
It was pretty exciting. Went to my first tournament in, I think, September of 2020, went 10-0 and beat 2 defending national champions, and it was real exciting. Pretty much the whole drive back to my Airbnb, I was laughing, and because I was like, wow, I can do this. So I really doubled down on my training and put the hammer down and never looked back.
So once you start training and then you have that goal of competing in the World Games, what was it like when you finally found out that you will be representing and have represented the United States?
It was exhilarating. We qualified through the North American Championships in Las Vegas back in December. The top 3 qualified for the World Games. And when I won my semifinals match and went to the finals, I just felt the goosebumps. And I went on and won the finals match, and yeah, reality set in that, wow, I'm on Team USA. And then to get down to Birmingham last week, get the Team USA gear, have the opening ceremonies. Thursday night, we walked out into the stadium. It was packed. And when they announced United States of America, the whole place erupted. And it literally just sent chills up my spine.
From what I hear, the environment in Birmingham for the sumo competition was pretty spectacular. What was it like for you standing on the court?
It was a childhood dream. I think any kid that grows up playing an Olympic sport, you know, they always want to be in the venue where you hear people chanting USA, USA, and to walk out and hear that in a sold-out Boutwell Auditorium was crazy. I mean, you feel the place vibrating with the chant as you're walking out, and it was great. It was irreplaceable as an experience.
So I know you headed into Birmingham with high hopes. It doesn't exactly go the way you planned.
Correct.
What was it that happened in that first match?
In the first match, my foot simply just slipped out from under me. The big hit off the beginning is called a tachi-ai, and I went to hit the guy. He circled, and I caught his belt, and I had a good position. And as I started to pivot, my foot just slid out from under me, and that's it. That's the duality of sumo. And, you know, it's no different than a baseball player making an error. Football player fumbles a snap, but they get a chance the next play to redeem themselves. In sumo, you don't. So, and the way the wrestlebacks work is you only continue to get matches if you lose, if the person that you lost to continues to win. Well, that guy went on and lost to the eventual world champion in the next match, and that guy goes on to get bronze. So just, I slipped, and it was a tough draw, and it is what it is.
But now knowing that you can compete at this highest level, are you driven to continue doing this?
Absolutely. Sitting there watching the medal round matches, seeing a guy that I know I can beat that went on and took 3rd place, drove me. I said, I know I belong here. This is mine. So the fire's burning more than ever right now.
And looking at all of this, still, to our understanding, you are the only sumo wrestler in the state of Alabama.
Correct.
When we look at that, that's incredible in and of itself, but how much does it mean to you to have been able to represent the state of Alabama in the World Games?
Oh, it was great. Alabama's a very patriotic state, and Alabama loves sports, and the two were combined. And all weekend down there, I had people coming up to me, hey, you're the Alabama guy, and oh, we love you, we're so happy, and you know, people from all over the state, and they were just ecstatic. to have somebody from Alabama representing our country in the largest event at the World Games. So there was a ton of support, and it was just a great feeling.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on a great year, and we hope to see you in whatever the next big event for sumo wrestling is and whatever that takes you down the path of.
2023 World Champion.
All right. Well,
Thank
we'll
you.
look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.